Hey there everyone, welcome back again with a new video. So in the last video, we have seen how to configure the Apache server for the reverse proxy. Now it's time to create the certificate for our website, okay, for our domain especially. Okay, we are going to use the Certbot. Let me just show you here. SSL Let's Encrypt certificate that we will be using, and for that purpose, we have some procedure to follow. Okay, on the Certbot, we have to go, and everything we will be following from there itself. Let me just open it. Just a moment. Okay, on this side, we can see my SAT website is running Apache server and the system is Ubuntu. Ubuntu 20 or more you can select. And we'll have proper appropriate options accordingly for this running the Apache and the Ubuntu. Here, Snapd generally by default comes with the latest version of the Ubuntu, so we don't need to worry. We have to go inside the machine. Already we are there. Install Snapd. Snapd is already there with our Ubuntu latest version. I think 22, 23 we are using. Remove Certbot Atto, Certbot OS packages. This is also not required for us. So, okay, first installation we have to continue. Sudo snap install classic certbot. So this command we have to run. I already have this, run this in my virtual machine. So let's try on the local first. Maybe I'm not sure whether I have installed on my local. I'm just running this. Okay, so we have to follow probably these the steps only. Sudo snap install classic certbot. Okay, it's downloading all the necessary stuff here. We can see. So we have installed successfully. On my local, I'm trying, but on the virtual machines, we have to do. Okay, this is the first step. Next one, this command we have to run. Okay, so once we are done with that, now we can just configure this sudo certbot Apache. Okay, this is the configuration required for the Apache. So this it will do necessary changes on this Apache configuration files as per the requirement. So we have to run this now. Okay, it will ask for some of the things, so we'll go through one by one now. Okay, we are getting the error here. We have some issue. Okay, so let's run this command on the virtual machine itself. Here, I'm going to run the command. I already did the installation, so that's why probably we may not see all the steps. But yeah, it will ask some of the things actually again, if we already have this data. Okay, we have here, which name would you like to activate HTTPS actually. Okay, so here we have different domains already. So probably it will ask initially what kind of domain you require. So as per the screenshot, let me just show you. Okay, this kind of information it will ask actually. Let me just maximize. Sudo certbot Apache saving debug to this log. So it will ask email ID first. So it will ask terms and condition. Yes. Would you be willing to once your first certificate? Just add yes. Please enter the domain. Okay, here. So it will, these are the steps actually initially I just captured in the form of screenshot. So make sure you are also getting the same thing and you just follow the same. Enter the domain name. Would you like to? Like on your certificate. So I added all of my domains necessary. I did not add my main domain like PavanTechAcademy.online. So we can add that as well main. So these are all the subdomains, right? eContact dot Pavantech Academy, Explorer dot API dot CouchDB1, CouchDB2 dot. Okay, these are subdomains I added, but we can add that main domain as well. That's perfectly fine. Once we add this, it will ask again for the next one. So it will create the certificate for this, and it will ask us some of the options like this. So we have to select option 2, proxy host let's SSL config. This second file we have to run the second. Actually we have to enter the second option here, and that's it. We will be able to do everything. Select the appropriate number separated by comma or leave it input blank to select all the options. Just press the enter, so it will select all the options here. Now what it is asking, so we already have all the certificates and all for this, so that's why. So it is asking us to reinstall the existing certificate or renew and replace the certificate. So it's totally on us. I don't want to do anything. So attempt to install the existing certificate. Yeah, first option we can choose, but I can just keep it. That's perfectly fine. Some error I'm getting because of the configuration was already there, probably, so I'm not able to reinstall the existing certificate. Okay, so but yeah, you will not get error first time. Just select the appropriate options. Now once we are done with this, what we have to do, there is a file, this one. Just go to this file, sudo vim /etc Apache 2 sites enable proxy host le ssl.config. So we will be able to see a very basic file here. So what we have to do, we have to replace this file with latest. We already have here in the folder you can see Apache config. There is a dedicated folder Apache 2. So here from top to bottom you can just copy paste as it is. Only difference would be you have to add your own domain here. eContract Pavantech Academy online. So I'm redirecting. If these normal HTTP request, I'm redirecting to the HTTPS. Okay, and HTTPS it is there. So it is the HTTP without security. This is just unsecure like HTTP, and 443 is the HTTPS. So it will redirect here. Again, we are just checking server name is this one. What we are doing, proxy pass here. We are just passing 3002, and reverse proxy also we are passing on the same IP address, because front end is running on 3002 on this machine itself. So again, we have to add as necessary stuff here, server alias eContract pavantechacademy.online. So one more thing I wanted to let you know. So when we have main domain itself, pavantechacademy.online, I missed that during the configuration itself. I added only a subdomain. So it will create the certificate for first domain, whatever we provide when it asks for the domains. So it will just create the certificate under that path itself, /etc let's encrypt live eContract Pavantech Academy online, and / will have all the certificate, full chain, public key, private key, and everything. Private key is also there, right? And this will get used for the secure communication, HTTPS. I have other things. Explorer also I wanted to expose, and that is running on the 8081 local machine. The SSL certificate file and the private key file, it would be exactly same for all of them, because it's a kind of wildcard. The certificate is valid for all the domain. API also I exposed, and API is running on the 3000. CouchDB, I think CouchDB also I exposed, and it is running on 5984 for organization 1, and for organization 2 it is 7984. Okay, these are the different domain. We have to just copy as it is, and here in this file itself we have to paste it. Using Vim, what we can do, we can just delete files. Just keep pressing delete, and it will, I'm just doing it right away, it will just delete everything. When we press D, actually 2 times D equal to, it will. So I added all these changes directly in this file, whatever we have in this file apache.config. So make sure you also add the same thing. Only change would be the domain name in your case. Okay, so I'm just going outside here, quitting the file. Now we have to restart the service. So restarting the service again, we have to run systemctl restart Apache server D, or maybe this service itself we can do it. Okay, restart is done. system CTL status Apache 2. Okay. So we can see our Apache server is running with the latest changes now. When we're hitting to this domain, we should be able to access it. Let's see now that. Here, let's try with the Explorer first. I'm just refreshing this. Yeah, we are able to access explorer.pavantechacademy.online and login. Okay, Explorer is redirecting our all the requests to the 8081 inside the machine. Now let's try to log in and check the data. Okay, 16 hours ago we created this block. Now what we can do, we'll try to access our machine front end as well. Okay, I'm just copying this. Let's open the new, pasting it. So not Explorer, sorry, e-contract here we have to open. So it should get redirected on login. Now we already know there is one user inside the machine itself. Let me just show you. Control P, bootstrap.js, and here we have user admin102@gmail.com. Let's try to log in with this user. Admin@123. Okay, our front end is also accessible for that particular port. So I'm just signing in. So we should be able to see the contract and be able to log in and create the contract as well if everything working fine. Here, okay, we can see from the blockchain we are getting the data. Even we can try to create one contract as well. Let's see here. I'm just adding a random data, so you can just select any one of. I'm just selecting the dates, adding the test comment, browsing the file, and I will be using the test PDF and clicking on the submit. Perfect. We are able to create the contract. Now let's see the same contract. I'm just copy. Okay, so this contract will search 4C34 in the CouchDB. So CouchDB, where it is running, let me just open that as well. Instead of B contract, R1 CouchDB. This is the domain if I'm not wrong. Let's see if we can access it. Okay, we are able to access it. Okay, so you will be able to see if you are hitting this URL. So we have to add additional things here. /_utils. Yeah, we are able to access it. Admin and admin PW is the password here for the CouchDB. I'm just accessing it. This is the agreements collections we have. Now let's try to see the contract which created before some time. 4C34. Okay, let me just check. I added one logic here. When we click on this, it will copy, but sometimes it was breaking for me. I think it got copied. Let's see now. Yeah, here we have a same contract. When we copy on this, we just click on this ID. So you'll be able to copy this whole ID. So I just did the same thing. And this is the contract I created before some time. Let me just put it here. Okay. This is the information document and everything. So let's try to fetch the document as well here. When we click on the view, so just click on the show file. It should be redirecting to the specific S3 bucket URL, and this is the signed URL. It will be valid for some of the time. Yeah, perfect. Most of the, I mean, all of the things are working as expected only. Now we added one new contract. We just view as well. We refreshed. Even just check the admin operation as well if we can do it. So deactivate this user. Okay, we are able to do it. perfectly. Everything's working as expected only. We can see here e-contract, Pontech Academy. This is the first domain is running. One more thing. So there was a one test API, right? So we exposed. I just wanted to show that as well. https api.poundtechacademy.online/v1/auth test. This was the test API. And we should get the response like perfect, your APIs are up and running. So it means we have successfully deployed our applications, and we even made secure communication as well, like using HTTPS by adding the SSL certificates. Okay, this was all about the deployment. So in the deployment, first we have gone through the API server. We have created the UI as well. After that, I mean, make sure while creating these services, so you have to make the changes as per the suggestions I made. Like on the UI, we have to have that env file, and the API side, we have to use proper connection profile. Otherwise, you won't be able to communicate this API to the certificate authority, and they will be communicating with each other using the domain name itself, not the local host now, once they are running in the containers. So initially we created all the API server and the UI server. Next, we created the domain using Hostinger. Once we have the domain, we added the configuration for the Apache server and using this Apache server as a reverse proxy server. And once we have that, we configured this Apache server for secure communication using Certbot, and we are using a less encrypt as the certificate authority. So this certificate authority default comes with the 3-month expiry of the certificate. So make sure you can just get the paid as well. Get paid certificate from the certificate authorities if maybe more than 1 year, 2 year or something like that. And finally, once we deployed the certificate, we are able to access our all the application. Like first one is the front end, second one is the API, third one is the CouchDB, and fourth one is the Explorer. Let me just show you one by one again here. This is the API server, API Pontech Academy .online, and this is the URL. So make sure while changing this, do not add this additional routes here. So just make api.pontechacademy.online. After that, we can add necessary stuff as per our requirement. Next one is the UI. So e-contract is the subdomain we created for the front end. econtract.poundtechacademy.online/admin/admin. Okay, we are able to do all the operations without any issue. Yeah, there is a possibility you may face some of the minor issue during the Apache configuration, but just let me know in case we'll try to solve that issue as well. So otherwise, what we can do, we later I will release one video on the YouTube itself to how this configuration on the new machine, how exactly different steps we handle. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much.